$1 billion. That was the towering height of Sean Diddy Combs' empire. And now, that empire is shaking, his name mired in controversy, and his freedom hangs precariously in the balance. This is a dramatic saga of a hip-hop titan facing an unprecedented public reckoning. As the dust settles from these shocking developments, it's not just about one man's fall. It's about reputation, legacy, and the collateral damage that ripples outwards. So the big question in this high-stakes game is, when an empire shakes this hard, who, if anyone, can truly say they're coming out on top? Sean Combs, the visionary who built Bad Boy Records, the fashion mogul, the Kirok King. His journey was the quintessential rags to riches story. For decades, he wasn't just a part of pop culture, he was actively shaping it. But then, beginning with his arrest in September 2024, that formidable empire began to reveal serious, catastrophic fissures. Since that point, it's been an unrelenting barrage of accusations, mounting lawsuits, and a public relations disaster of epic scale. The allegations are severe: sexual misconduct, abuse, sex trafficking, and racketeering. The lawsuit from his ex-partner Cassie Ventura, though settled for a reported $20 million, acted as a catalyst, opening the floodgates. Now, more than 120 individuals, men, women, and even minors, have reportedly filed or are preparing to file sexual abuse complaints against Combs, with some allegations dating back several decades. His federal trial commenced on May 5, 2025, on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, and transporting individuals across state lines for prostitution. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Currently, Diddy remains in pretrial detention, having been denied bail due to the severity of the charges and concerns that he might be a flight risk. The financial repercussions have been brutal. Once boasting a net worth around $1 billion, Diddy's fortune has reportedly plummeted to an estimated $400 million. Brands are rapidly distancing themselves. Diageo, his partner in the immensely profitable Kirok Vodka and DeLeon Tequila Ventures, which purportedly paid him over $1 billion in 16 years, has severed ties. He apparently received $200 million for his share of DeLeon when that partnership dissolved. His Sean John clothing line has been pulled from retailers like Macy's. He stepped down as chairman of Revolt TV, the media network he co-founded, and divested his majority stake. And his music, the very foundation of his fame, radio airplay has reportedly decreased by a staggering 88%, with streaming numbers down by over 50%. Even Howard University, his alma mater, rescinded his honorary doctorate and returned a $1 million donation. Adding to his woes, the Justice Department is attempting to seize his assets, contending that Diddy utilized his businesses to conceal and facilitate his alleged criminal activities. A conviction could lead to even more substantial losses. His Los Angeles mansion is reportedly listed for $61.5 million. And each day, testimony in his ongoing trial surfaces more damaging details, such as a hotel security guard's claim that Combs paid over $100,000 for security footage depicting him assaulting Cassie Ventura. Enter Rick Ross. The head of Maybach Music Group, a longtime associate and collaborator of Diddy, has found himself increasingly mentioned as the Combs scandal unfolds. Reports and significant online speculation have suggested Ross's presence at some of Diddy's notorious freak-off parties. This has naturally led to questions about what he might have known or witnessed. Some sources even hinted that Ross could face his own legal scrutiny due to these alleged connections, claiming he might have played a significant role in these parties. However, it's important to state clearly that no official charges or lawsuits specifically against Ross regarding these matters have emerged in the mainstream. Publicly, Rick Ross has been navigating a delicate path. He has largely maintained his customary flashy biggest boss persona, concentrating on his own considerable business empire. This includes his Maybach Music Group label, a portfolio of Wingstop franchises reportedly generating millions annually, partnerships with Bel Air Rosé and Bumbu Rum, and his real estate ventures, such as the expansive 109-room mansion in Georgia. Recently, in early June 2025, Ross received an official proclamation in Georgia from Congresswoman Nikema Williams, acknowledging his business achievements and community contributions in the state, particularly his annual car and bike show. That event is anticipated to draw approximately 8,000 attendees and involves collaborations with figures like Tyler Perry. Nevertheless, the association with Diddy casts a persistent shadow. Social media is rife with commentary, much of it fueled by individuals like 50 Cent, questioning the proximity of Ross to Diddy's alleged activities. While Ross is not enduring the same legal ordeal as Diddy, in the court of public opinion, the link is undeniably present and potentially detrimental. One can find Reddit threads and online discussions where fans debate his inclusion in event lineups due to these associations. His name has surfaced during Diddy's trial, generally in the context of his music collaborations or his connections to Diddy and Cassie Ventura, but not in a manner that implicates him in any wrongdoing within the trial itself. The Diddy scandal isn't unfolding in isolation. It's accompanied by a soundtrack of ongoing hip-hop beefs. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, in particular, has taken on the role of chief instigator and commentator regarding Diddy's situation. He has relentlessly trolled Diddy across social media, mocking his downfall. 50 Cent is even reportedly developing a documentary focused on the Diddy allegations, with a pledge that proceeds will benefit victims of sexual assault. For Diddy, each instance of his name being dragged into these public disputes further solidifies an image of him as an outcast. Rick Ross has also found himself a prominent figure on this public battlefield, frequently targeted by 50 Cent, who has broadened his online attacks to include him. 50 Cent has resurfaced old controversies involving Ross, such as the controversial UOENO lyrics, and has made allegations about a past romantic relationship between Diddy and Ross. Ross has not consistently ignored these provocations, engaging in social media confrontations with 50 Cent that often become personal and involve extensive boasting about wealth. To further complicate matters, Rick Ross also engaged in a public feud with Drake, releasing a diss track titled Champagne Moments in 2024. More recently, as of 2024 May 2025, Ross has suggested a willingness to reconcile with Drake, a move that could be perceived as an effort to de-escalate at least one of his public confrontations. This contrasts with his ongoing feud with 50 Cent, who has also taunted Ross about his tour attendance figures and asserted his reliance on Drake for hit songs. With this continuous deluge of social media commentary, diss tracks, and leaked information, whether factual or rumored, the narrative is constantly evolving. For Ross, even if he lands some verbal blows in these online exchanges, the cumulative effect is that he remains associated with the negativity surrounding Diddy and continues to be involved in public altercations that can erode his boss image. Legally, Diddy is facing an overwhelming crisis. He is confronted with charges that could result in a life sentence and the loss of nearly all his remaining assets. His trial is currently underway, with damaging testimony emerging consistently. Public perception of Diddy is at an all-time low. He has become a symbol of alleged abuse and exploitation. Institutions are severing ties with him, and his cultural influence has been decimated. Public defenses of Diddy are virtually non-existent. There was even a recent incident where a Diddy supporter was forcibly removed from the courtroom for causing a disturbance. Rick Ross, from a legal standpoint and based on publicly available information, is in a considerably more secure position. He is not facing any criminal charges related to Diddy's case. While his name is mentioned and there is considerable speculation about his presence at Diddy's parties, this has not translated into direct legal difficulties for Ross himself. His public image, though it has certainly sustained damage from 50 Cent's relentless trolling and the general association with the Diddy scandal, is not nearly as tarnished as Diddy's. He continues to make public appearances, receive accolades, and promote his businesses. His potential willingness to reconcile with Drake could be interpreted as an attempt to manage his image and reduce public drama. However, not losing as badly is not synonymous with winning. Ross is still expending energy to counter these by-association allegations and engage in public disputes. The ongoing need to either address these connections or ignore them signifies that he is undoubtedly operating under a cloud. The stain from Diddy's alleged actions is potent, and anyone in his close orbit risks being tainted by it. While Ross continues to generate income and secure bookings, the long-term impact on his legacy and brand remains uncertain. He is, in essence, navigating a minefield. One misstep or one credible accusation that directly implicates him could dramatically alter his circumstances. This whole thing is changing by the day, with new headlines dropping constantly. What do you guys think about this entire saga? Who do you think is handling this storm better? Or is everyone involved just losing in the end? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay up to date on complicated stories like this one, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. So, who's really winning this battle as these devastating scandals unfold around Diddy and touch upon Rick Ross? Honestly, it's tough to call anyone a winner when the whole situation is littered with such serious accusations and so much reputational damage. Diddy is, without a doubt, losing. Catastrophically. He's staring into a legal abyss that threatens his freedom and everything he's ever built. His legacy isn't just tarnished, it's been completely rewritten in the public's mind as one of alleged predatory behavior. Rick Ross, by comparison, appears to be weathering the storm, at least for the moment. His businesses continue to operate. He remains a public figure, and he is not facing Diddy's severe legal predicaments. Yet, his past closeness to Diddy and his propensity for public beefs mean he isn't emerging from this situation entirely unscathed. One might say his current win is simply by virtue of not being in Diddy's shoes, but the shadow of this scandal is long, and public opinion can be a very tricky thing. Ultimately, the only individuals who might emerge as winners in the long run could be the accusers, if they achieve their goals in the fight for justice and accountability. For both Diddy and Ross, this ongoing battle seems less about outright winning and more about survival and attempting to minimize the extensive damage in a hip-hop landscape that has been irrevocably altered by these massive allegations. The final score is definitely a long way from being settled.